Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé's Big Ed Brown engaged after 24-hour courtship. Big Ed Brown has never been a man who moves slowly. Whether he's hopping onto a motorized scooter in San Diego, confessing his insecurities on camera, or accidentally igniting unforgettable internet memes, he lives life in a fast lane uniquely his own. But even for someone with his track record of impulsive choices, no one expected the news that erupted across the 90-Day Fiancé universe this week. Big Ed is engaged again. After just a 24-hour courtship that has fans in shock, disbelief, and oddly, a little admiration. The story begins in the most Big Ed way possible. According to insiders, he had signed up for a quick weekend getaway retreat in Palm Springs designed for self-love, mindfulness, and powerful new beginnings. Ed reportedly misread part of the brochure and thought it was a matchmaking event. Instead of backing out, he shrugged, cracked a joke about the universe doing its thing, and dove in anyway. On the first morning of the retreat, Ed met Serena, a 42-year-old wellness coach from Arizona with a calm, grounded energy that stood in extreme contrast to his own chaotic, meme-ready presence. She was leading a group meditation when Ed showed up 5 minutes late carrying an iced latte the size of his head, wearing a shirt with his own face on it. As the group inhaled and exhaled, Ed whispered loudly that he wasn't sure how to breathe mindfully, earning him Serena's first amused smile. That smile apparently was all it took. Later that afternoon, during a workshop on intentional communication, Ed and Serena were paired together to practice speaking without judgment. Ed, who has always struggled with saying anything without a dash of unpredictability, surprised everyone. For the first time in a long time, he was calm, honest, and, according to witnesses, shockingly vulnerable. He opened up about his heartbreaks, his regrets, and the fear that maybe he was just too much for love. Serena didn't flinch. She told him she could tell he had a huge heart, and that sometimes people with big hearts just needed someone who could meet them where they are. It was the kind of line that would have sounded cliché coming from anyone else, but she delivered it with a sincerity that hit Ed harder than a TLC reunion show confrontation. By dinner, the two were inseparable. By midnight, they reportedly had their first argument, over Ed trying to follow her into a sound bath session that required silence. By 1 a.m., they were laughing again. And according to one attendee, by sunrise they were sitting together on the deck, talking about life, timing, soulmates, and whether whirlwind romances were actually a bad thing, or just something society tells people to avoid. And then came the moment that no one, not even the most dramatic 90-Day Fiancé producers, could have scripted better. Just after lunch on the second day, Ed stood up during a grounding circle, walked over to Serena, took her hand, and, after a deep breath that he announced out loud, asked her to marry him. The entire group reportedly froze. One person dropped their crystal. Another gasped so loudly it echoed. Serena stared at him for a full 5 seconds. It felt like 20. Then she said yes. Ed immediately fist-pumped the air. Serena hugged him. A few people clapped. One person cried. It was the kind of scene that would have made for incredible TV, the perfect mix of chaos, emotion, and questionable decision-making that the 90-day audience thrives on. Word spread fast. By the time Ed returned home, the news had hit social media with the force of a freight train. Some fans were thrilled, celebrating Big Ed for finding love again. Others were skeptical, wondering if 24 hours is enough time to decide on anything more permanent than dinner. A few were convinced this was all an elaborate teaser for a future TLC spin-off, and honestly, it wouldn't be surprising if it becomes one. But those who know Ed say something about him seems different this time. He isn't posting non-stop, he isn't making jokes about his engagement in interviews, and he isn't trying to control the narrative. Instead, he's been telling people that life is short, love comes in strange forms, and sometimes the person meant for you appears in the middle of a mindfulness retreat when you're just trying to figure out how to breathe properly. Sources close to Serena say she's calm, grounded, and unfazed by the suddenness of it all. She believes their connection was immediate and mutual, and that people who live authentically shouldn't be afraid to take big leaps. When asked if she was worried about joining the roller coaster of Big Ed's public life, she simply replied that she believes every human is more than their headlines and their past mistakes. Of course, no Big Ed story would be complete without a dose of drama waiting just around the corner. Some fans are already speculating whether the couple will appear in a future season of 90-Day Fiancé or a special engagement feature. Others think Ed's daughter Tiffany may have strong feelings about this sudden commitment. And there are whispers that a few exes might not be thrilled about how quickly he's moved on. But for now, Big Ed seems determined to enjoy the moment. Insiders say he's already planning an engagement photo shoot, but this time he wants something more refined, more mature, and less viral meme material. He's reportedly even joked that he wants the wedding to be chill, peaceful, and maybe only 10% chaotic. The retreat attendees, meanwhile, are still processing what they witnessed. Some are calling it the most romantic whirlwind they've ever seen. Others are telling the story at dinner parties with the same intensity as someone recounting a UFO sighting. But all of them agree on one thing. Love may be unpredictable, but Big Ed's version of unpredictable is on a whole different level. Whether this engagement lasts longer than 24 hours or becomes a legendary TLC storyline remains to be seen. But for now, Big Ed Brown is engaged again. Proof that in the world of 90 Day Fiancé, nothing is impossible, everything is dramatic, and sometimes it only takes a single day to rewrite the entire story.